Hello YouTube, I am DarkAngelWJ. This is probably the third or fourth time. Fourth time? Yeah, I think fourth time that you guys hear my voice. But we finally did it. 10,000 subscribers. Holy schmoly. I didn't think we would get this far, well, this fast as well, because the last couple of months I've been gaining a lot. So I'd like to thank all of you for all the support until now. It's been really great. But I did promise I'd do a Q&A, and the questions I had were really great and fun to read, and the amount of them were also made me really happy, so thank you for all those questions. But before we start, I'd like to announce that I made a Discord server. I felt that I wanted to bring the community a bit closer together, and since the last live stream, I felt like we had that communication. So I figured a place where we could talk and discuss more easily would be really fun. So if you're interested, go down below in the description and join the Discord. So without further ado, let's start the Q&A. So the first question comes from Luke O'Brien, and they ask, do you have a daily practice routine for guitar, and if so, could you describe what you do? I actually don't have a daily routine. The only practice that I really do is playing the songs that I'm going to cover. That's how I've been doing it for the past 4 or 5 years now, and for me it's my way of practicing, and it works for me. The next question comes from both Miguel and Tamlu. Holy damn, not Tamlu, I didn't know you were still following, but hello there. But they ask what my favorite cover is. It's actually my favorite cover for a long time has been the Tales of Berseria cover I did. But I think more recently would be my Catch the Moment one. There's just so much going on in the guitars, and I really enjoyed playing all of the piano in it. And the results sounded really great. I was really satisfied when I put that up and listened back to it. The next question comes from that guy. And they ask, what song or songs have you enjoyed playing the most? Let's see. For songs that I haven't actually covered, I really enjoy playing Flipside songs, like Only My Railgun and Sister's Noise. Those are probably my 2 favorite Flipside songs to play. Also Philosophies from Rewrite. I really like to play that song. And Little Busters is also a great song to play. For the songs that I have covered, I did already mention the Catch the Moment and the Tales of Berseria one. I really enjoyed those. But other than that, all of the Boku no Hero Academia openings that I've done were really fun to play. And the Maid Dragon opening, actually, I also really enjoyed playing that. It was so catchy and fun to play, and I think it actually became one of my favorite Fana songs. Next up, by I'm Naomi, they ask what the hardest song I've ever played was. I think it has to be my Mob Psycho 100 ending. Especially in the chorus part, there's a lot of consecutive bending and pinch harmonicking, if that's a verb, but that really made it hard and difficult to get in, especially in one try. But overall, I was really happy with the end result. The next question is from both Naomi and Even A. And they ask how many retakes or how long it takes for me to do every cover. It really depends on the difficulty of the song. And lately I've been practicing multiple songs at a time. So it's actually hard to keep up with how long I've been practicing a song. Also, when there's piano involved, it usually takes longer than if there's just guitars. Because first I have to learn the song by ear, like getting the notes. then practice each segment, each part, and the rest is just mastering the song. So let's say an average of 5 to 6 hours for everything, like learning by ear, mastering, and all of that. Of course, spread over numerous amount of days. On the retakes, it obviously also depends on the difficulty of the song, but they can range from 1 take to 15. Like, I think the worst I had was in actually the Catch the Moment cover. The piano part was really frustrating at times when I hit the wrong note. So yeah. The next question comes from Anime Piano Angel, and they ask how long I've been playing the piano and how many years I've been learning the guitar, and also what my favorite anime is and what my favorite anime song is. I'll answer those 2 questions later in a different segment. But I've been playing the piano ever since I was a child. I guess I was around 4 to 5 years old. And guitar I've been playing for around 5 years now, ever since I got my first electric guitar, which I still use. I'm actually going to add Diamond Dark's question in here as well, and they ask how I learned the instruments that I played. Well, I've been taught the piano by my parents at first, and then they hired a private teacher. And eventually, when I got bigger, then I started going to a music school for learning the piano. It was mainly for classical music, and later I've been also doing jazz. But I recently stopped because of my studies. For the guitar, I started learning through YouTube mainly, watching other people's covers, and just playing songs like I mentioned earlier. The following question comes from Junior Hades, so awesome, I guess. But they ask how I start learning guitar by ear. Well, the best thing for learning to play by ear is just constantly doing it, and by experience you evolve the ability to learn by ear more and more. The essence of what I do is filtering out all the other instruments and just get that guitar part or any other part that you want. What I mean with filtering is like using your ears to filter the other sounds out. It sounds weird, but it's difficult to explain really. But what you could do first is listen closely to the guitar that you hear and try to get that bass note, and that gives you a general idea on what the chord could be. I find humming the notes helping actually as well, but I need to cut it a bit short, otherwise I could talk long about this. So the next question comes from P1 the Kilwa, and they ask if I could cover the OST for the Dragon Quest series or start covering video game songs in general. I did a few video game covers, but I usually only do those when there's no season ongoing, and they usually end up being Fate actually. But I'd like to keep it with the seasonal anime songs for now, because I have less time now recently. But regarding your Dragon Quest request, yeah, I could play the tune for you now. The following question comes from Lord Phoenix, and they ask what covers I'm planning to make. This season has really great songs, but the songs I had in mind are New Games opening, Made in Abysses opening, Fate Apocrypha's ending, Sakura Quest's second opening, and actually Princess Principal's opening, but that one is a bit difficult. Oh, and actually the opening from Classroom of the Elite is also something fun to play. Next up is Flying Jetpack 1's question, and they ask, what was the thing that motivated you to start your camera and record covers? Well, I did mention earlier that I started learning through YouTube, and a few people who covered anime songs on YouTube really inspired me, like notably Ibs Hirono and Anime Melodies. But I don't think they are that active anymore, which is a pity. But they really have been an inspiration to me, and they kept me going, especially through the beginning phases of my channel. So basically, I wanted to be like them in a certain way, and that's how I picked up the camera and decided to record. They also asked, how did your first collab project came to be, and how would you compare that experience to the present after you've done this many collabs? Well, I actually got contacted by Diamond Keto. He's an anime pianist, but I don't think he's that active lately. But he found my White Album 2 cover, and he decided to contact me for playing the guitar for the White Album OST. He also contacted Aylin, who does singing covers of anime songs, and we both agreed to participate in the collab, and that's how the first collab came to be. But compared to later collabs, I haven't done really too many, but they've definitely improved, especially because I improved in the guitar, gained more experience, and I also met really great people throughout my career, if I could say it like that. The next question comes from my boy Tristan Ross. Let's see. Do your friends and family know your anime internet sensation, or do you hide it because they're all normies who don't like anime? Let's see. Well, my parents know that I do covers on YouTube, and I guess I'm not sure if they watch me, if like watch my videos if I publish one. Some college friends do know that I do covers on YouTube. I think a very few of them follow me really, but most of them just know about me doing YouTube, but that's it. Also, top 5 best girls. I'll also bring Waka Yugo's question in here. They ask, who is your waifu? Tell the truth, or else Nero is going to be a berserker. But let's see. The list I actually have on my anime list is kinda outdated, so I had to think of who my top 5 girls are. But at the 5th place, it would be Maxe Kurisu from Steins Gate. Next up is Oshino Shinobu from the Monogatari series. Next up, Misaka Mikoto from Toaru Majutsu no Index. Next up, 2nd place, Tosaka Rin from the Fate series. And on 1st place, it has to be Nero. I can't betray Nero. Like, Rin has been my waifu for a long time actually, but ever since I played Fate Extra, Nero just stood out way more. I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I'll put a disclaimer there anyways. But Rin appears in Fate Extra as well, but she wasn't really too prominent enough of a character, at least compared to Nero. That's how I liked Nero more in the Extra universe than Rin's counterpart in the Extra universe. She does have this great scene though, which I might or might not have a screenshot of. Next up, a question of... But they ask, what anime are you watching this season? I actually have a my anime list. You can follow that down in the description, but for the sake of answering the question, I'll mention them all in my best Japanese. Oh god. Ballroom e yokoso. Boku no Hero Academia 2nd season. Fate Apocrypha. Gamers. Isekai Shokudo. Kakegurui. Koito Uso, Made in Abyss, New Games Second Season, Princess Principal, Recreators, Sakura Quest, Shingeki no Bahamut, Virgin Soul, I don't know why I said Bahamut, Surezure Children, and ようこそ実力至上主義の教室へ or Classroom of the Elite. Next up, question of Cortec Despairs. What is your favorite opening and ending of all time, and your favorite anime? Thinking of a favorite opening and ending was pretty difficult, but I had two of each in mind. For the opening, Little Buster's Ecstasy version from the visual novel is my favorite Little Buster's version from both the visual novel and the anime, and Only My Railgun from Fripside, which is one of the very first anime songs that I've heard, and it's still one of my favorites. For the ending, I also came up with two. The first one being Anata ga Ita Mori from the 2006 Stay Night anime, which might be unexpected for some of you, but before I started playing the guitar, I would play all these piano pieces, anime songs on the piano, and Anata ga Ita Mori was one of those that I kept playing and very much enjoyed playing. For the second song, I had in mind Oblivious from Calafina, from the first Kara no Kyokai movie. It's my favorite Calafina song. I'm not actually sure if it counts as an ending, but it did play in the credits, so I guess that's an ending. Favorite anime was also pretty hard to come up with, but it usually is between either Gintama, Fate Zero, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But I figured that I have watched Fate Zero a lot of times, and because of that, I guess that would be my favorite anime. Next question comes from Lindsay Narcissa. They ask first what my ID is for Fate Grand Order. I'm not sure if you want my North American one or my Japanese, so I'll just leave both of them there. And their next question was what my favorite anime is from this year so far. Well, there's some really good contestants of Anime of the Years in this season, but if I had to go with an anime that already finished airing, I think it has to be the Little Witch Academia anime. I did watch the movie, and I was really excited when they announced an anime adaptation, a full TV series. However, sequel-wise, I guess my favorite anime would be Gintama. The latest Gintama season was really hype, and they announced a new season, so I'm really looking forward to that as well. But speaking of the contestants of this season, Ballroom, Yokoso, and Made in Abyss are two that I really look forward to, and they have been really great so far. So they might end up being my favorite anime of the year, depending on how they would end. Next question comes from Jack, and they ask, what is your stand name? Okay, for real, your favorite stand? My favorite stand, I think it has to be Foo Fighters from Stone Ocean. I just like how this stand developed its own personality. It has a wacky personality which I really like, and it makes reading Stone Ocean that more enjoyable. Part 6 when. Next up is EVVK Gaming, and they ask, if you could have one superpower from any cartoon, anime or manga, what would it be? Well, I think it's pretty easy for me. The ability to control time. Like, the ability to control time seems like such a handy power. Imagine the things you could do when you could stop time. Next question comes from my man Goktoto, and he asks, are traps gay?
impossible, see the invisible. Whoa, whoa, fight the power.
Yeah. I prefer, I don't know. Next question is from DarkAngelWJ, and he's got a bunch of questions. Let's see. How old am I? I am 20 years old. My favorite genre of music? I guess rock and metal, both English and Japanese. The favorite anime I already covered. Why did you choose that name? Well, I guess I was like, I don't know, 11 or 12 years old since I had that name, and it didn't get to me that I still got that name as my YouTube channel, and when my channel was growing, I didn't realize that a channel name would be that big of a deal. But now I'm like in the search results, so it'd be difficult to change it right now. I changed my name already on other platforms like on Steam, but yeah, I'm kind of stuck with the name. But the origin, I think I had like Chunibyo or something back then. I don't know. But a little bit of trivia though, the WJ has a meaning. They are my initials of my first name, so there you have that. Next question comes from Some Sort of Games. How tall am I? I'm around 170 centimeters. That's about 5.5 feet. I'm pretty small. Next up, Mr. Explosion. They ask, do you like old rock, and can you, if you can please, play Back in the Black by AC/DC? I do like old rock, but I rarely play it since I've been occupied with the anime songs. But regarding the little request, next question comes from David. They ask what my favorite games are on PC or PlayStation. I actually don't play on PlayStation, so I guess only PC games. Recently, Tales of Berseria has been a really great game, like one of the best JRPGs I've played in a long while. So I guess that's one of my favorite games that I like to get back to. I'm a fan of fighting games, and my favorite series of them is BlazBlue, which I also play on the PC. And I guess visual novel wise, Fate Stay Night. Next up is from Blue Karma. After his comment, he says, leak your Kobayashi dance fit. Just kidding, I just want to tease you. You know what? I'm going to tease you. Next up is a question of Kurumi Tokisaki. They ask, what is your dream setup? Maybe music, gaming, etc. And what is your ideal guitar? I haven't actually thought of that, but music-wise, I'd like to have like a room dedicated for all the music, like isolated with the special isolated material or whatever you call it. That would be really great to have. That place would then like serve as my studio. Would be nice to have like all the mix panels. That would be great to have, since I'm not the only one in the house who plays music. So for my parents, it would also be really great to have such a room. For ideal guitar, I'm not sure if there's actually an ideal guitar. Like different songs might need a different sort of guitar, but I still have the Stratocaster, which is all around, which is great. But for songs like with that special Telecaster sound, you'd need to have a Telecaster to bring out that sound. So a Telecaster would be really nice to have. For metal and such, I A guitar equipped with a Floyd Rose would be really nice. Since I haven't been really able to do dive bombing with the Stratocaster, since I'm pretty scared to destroy it. But generally, my guitar isn't really too suited for that real heavy metal. So I figured that one with the dual pickup, how you call it, humbucker pickup would be really nice to have, since mine is a single coil. Next up, CG1 Art. Show your room tour, senpai. Well, my room is actually having some renovations at the moment, but I could show you where I do my recordings, so here is where I record. I guess this scene looks familiar. I actually just use my phone's camera to record. Like, I would have a mirror there. It's still there from last time I recorded. And then I had the stand. It's actually the old piano that I haven't been using for a long time, actually. It's still in the morning, so I won't wake up. I will try not to wake up the neighbors, but here's the bass guitar I used for the Recreators opening. The digital piano that I use. The electric guitar. My interface, which is a Line 6 Spot Studio UX2. The microphone and my laptop. I'm still in the middle of editing the Q&A. But yeah, I've been editing for a long time now. I could show you the acoustic guitars I use. There's nothing actually more to see here. It's just part of the this room, so have nice scenery of green. The next question comes from a boy Shibu, and he asks, if you could only listen to one single anime song for the rest of your life, but not play it, which one would it be? I'll say this. It's definitely not generic and an unoriginal question. It's really deep, and it's really hard to answer. Like, regardless of how you might love the song, if you listen to it every single day, you will get tired of it, I believe. So really difficult, but I figured that if I'll be dying with the song anyways, Alleluia by Kalafina from Kara no Kyokai Mirai Fukuin. It's fitting, and I don't mind Kalafina. Well, more than that, I love Kalafina. They're actually my favorite Japanese group. They have soothing voices, so I might eventually stop hearing them after so many years of listening to that single song. And when I die, those are probably the last things that I hear. There you go. I was scared for this to appear, but Raditya Dafa asks, show us your face, please. Oh, I have to prepare the kokoro. Hey! There you go. Next question by Martin. When will you run for president? Okay. Let's see. When Vermin Supreme manages to be president of the United States, then I might as well run for president myself. And then I'd be like, free Dakimakuras for everyone. Next one from ShademanEXE. Why is Moderate so much better than Nero? Next question from Akuma Kyosuke. I'm not going to show my face again, but they ask, can you guide me to buy and install Fade Extra? If that's how I'm reading it correct. Well, you don't necessarily have to buy it, but if you really want. It's going to be expensive, but it's pretty nice to have. But it's a game for the PSP, so I recommend getting a PSP emulator or something, and the best one I find is PPSSPP. And then through the ways of Google, you can try and find the game file for the emulator. Next up, a question of Ao. They ask, do you usually buy merchandise and goodies? If yes, can you show us your Nero merchandise if you have any? Just curious. Well, I don't actually have Nero merchandise yet. Like any other merchandise I also don't really have, but I did pre-order this baby. It will arrive in April only, since it will be released late March, which is pretty long, but I'm looking forward to this one a lot. Next up, a question of my man Sekai Zero. They ask, when are you going to make a new live stream? Well, I don't know. I don't know what to live stream. Another game, or again Fate Red Order? Maybe doing piano and guitar shenanigans or something, or doing both simultaneously like last time. Well, if you have Discord, you can just hit me up and then we can discuss over there. And the next question comes from Sruipu. I'm sorry if I totally killed that, but favorite Fate, anime, manga, or novel? Favorite Fate game, and favorite Fate's servant. Okay, it's narrow. It says favorite, not best, but the favorite Fate anime, and also the best in my opinion, is the Fate Zero anime. Like, I enjoyed Unlimited Blade Works, but even though Rin is my favorite heroine of the three, Unlimited Blade Works is actually my least favorite route of the three, especially after reading the other two routes. Manga, I've only read the Prisma Ilia manga and part of the Apocrypha manga, so I can't really say too much about that. Novel-wise, I haven't really read anything like actual novel, if you don't count visual novel. Favorite Fate game? No Stay Night, so I guess it has to be Fate Extra then, since yeah, it introduced me to my waifu. So it's actually a really great visual novel as well, and the gameplay is pretty interesting as well. If you haven't played Fate Extra yet and you're looking into getting deeper into the Fate franchise, then you should definitely check out the game. Favorite Fate servant? Yeah, it is Nero, but for the sake of answering, I guess I have to go with Ku, Lancer from Stay Night. He's a really cool dude, and he often is like bashed on in the series, and it's kind of sad to look at, but he's actually a really cool guy. Actually, I'll let you hear Yoji Nakata's opinions on Lancer. I roughly translated what he said, so take a look.
では本当皆さんもねよくご存知の通りフェイトシリーズでのランサーといえば不運な男カニファンをはじめねえもうあいつは不憫だなまあ僕にも責任の一端はあるんですけどもはい自害しろランサーでそのシーンをぜひ満点だと思いますんでこの人でなし
Also, this honorable mention of a question by Rosal. Am I ever gonna get my cover requests? Anyways, thanks so much for sticking through the end. It was actually pretty tiring to use my voice for a long period of time, but make sure to join the Discord server. I would really like to see you guys there, and thank you a lot for all the support until now, as I've said. And Here's to the future.
物足りん。もっと攻めよ。